It is 6:30, and so I will call the meeting of the Willmar City Council to order. Roll call.
Mayor Pro Tem Osk.
Here.
Councilmember Nelson.
Here.
Councilmember Davis.
Here.
Schuldes.
Here.
Fagerly.
Here.
Osmus.
Here.
Butterfield.
Here.
O'Brien.
Here.
Mayor Reese is absent, so 8 present, 1 absent.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On the proposed agenda, I just wanted to clarify, there's a couple copies apparently out there that on the proposed agenda for the consent agenda, there should be 5N, approval of Police Commission appointment of Chris Rosendahl. And with that, I'll look for other amendments to the agenda or a motion to approve the agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Mayor Pro Tem Osk.
Aye.
Councilmember Nelson.
Aye.
Councilmember Davis.
Aye.
Schuldes.
Aye.
Fagerly.
Aye.
Osmus.
Aye.
Butterfield.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
8 yeses, 0 nos.
Motion passes. Clerk Larson, will you walk us through tonight's consent agenda?
Mayor Pro Tem and council members, for tonight's consent agenda, I have for you the City Council minutes of June 3rd, 2024, the Planning Commission minutes of June 5th, 2024 as a draft, the Police Commission minutes of April 5th, 2024, the Police Commission minutes of March 1st, the Police Commission minutes of February 9th, the Police Commission minutes of February 5th, the Municipal Utilities Commission minutes of June 10th, approval of the First Amendment to Dunnick Purchase Agreement, First Street and Trot Avenue signal system replacement, authorizing the purchase of a self-propelled top dresser from Conestoga Manufacturing, consideration of the first state 1-day to 4-day temporary on-sale liquor license permit for Cantioy County Fair Association, the city finance report through 5/31/24, the accounts payable report from 5/30 to 6/13/24, and the police commission appointment. And for your information, I have the monthly permit report from May of 2024 and the director's reports and the Willmar Municipal Utilities finance report for April 2024.
Motion to approve the consent items.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Osk.
Aye.
I'm sorry, Mayor Pro Tem Osk. It's going to be hard tonight for me. I'm sorry.
I'll still vote aye.
At least I pronounced your name correctly. Nelson.
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Schuldes.
Aye.
Fagerly.
Aye.
Osmus.
Aye.
Butterfield.
Aye.
And O'Brien.
Aye.
8 yeses, 0 nos.
Consent agenda is approved. It looks like we have 2 speakers for tonight's open forum, starting with Andres Albertson. Ask you to come up here and speak from the podium, and please give your name and address when you do.
Name and address, you said?
Yes, please.
Yes. I am Andres Albertsen. I live here in Willmar on 19th Avenue, Southeast, 1401 is the number, Somerset Properties. I am here to tell you about and invite you to a Willmar Pride event we will be having on June 28th. I am pastor at Vinci Lutheran Church, also pastor of Iglesia Luterana Paz y esperanza, and I am in the fortunate position that I can be out as gay, as a gay man, and be a pastor and do the things I do, and glad to live in a city that adopted a welcoming resolution in 2018. So this was 2 years before I moved to the city. This resolution remains abstract if nobody celebrates that we can be who we are with our sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression. So this is what we will be doing, and because we also have a responsibility towards those who are still struggling with accepting who they are or fearful of rejection. So they also need to know that it is okay to celebrate and that they are not the ones having a problem. I left the World Cafe hosted by the Human Rights Commission on April 30th. Some of you were there, determined to do my part to have a Pride event in Willmar this year. Of course, we need allies for that, and I found them in Purpose Artisans, Intuition Brewing, and when we started talking and doing some research, we discovered that we are not starting this from scratch, but we are building on the legacy of some bold people who formed the West Central Minnesota Pride back in 2009 and hosted an amazing Pride event here in Willmar. And other people also have been publicly claiming who they were, maybe some of them paying a price for that, but they have brought us to where we are today. And this legacy we plan to honor with our event on the 28th. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Our second speaker tonight is Liz Heimer.
Good evening. My name is Liz Heimer. My address is at 12388 Big Candy Drive in Lake Lillian, but I am a downtown and a very proud downtown business owner, co-owner of Intuition Brewing. Intuition Brewing is a very new business. We opened in December of 2023. And part of the reason we wanted to be here is because we really wanted to embrace this amazing diversity that we have in Willmar, and seeing all of these wonderful organizations out there like Purpose Artisans and Andres with the churches that he's at was really refreshing to see. And so we are very excited about this event at Intuition Brewing. One of the things that we really wanted to bring was for people to be able to show up and be seen and be who they are, no matter who that is. And so we're having the event on June 28th. It's a Friday, and it starts at 4 p.m. There's going to be some arts and crafts with Purpose Artisans to celebrate. Then we'll be doing a very educational Pride trivia, which we're excited about. At 7 p.m., we're going to be doing we're going to offer an open mic time so that if people have something they want to say, if they want to read a poem, if they want to talk about why this is important to them, if they want to talk about the things that have hurt them, this is their podium to really talk. And we'll be having some light drumming in the background with Purpose Artisans. If you haven't experienced that, it's a really powerful moment for them. And so we're excited for that. We'll have a dance at the end starting at 8, and it'll all be wrapped up by 10 p.m. And so we really hope to see the city stand behind us with welcoming this community here. As Andres talked about, we really haven't seen a lot since 2009. And so this is a great opportunity to really embrace that resolution and that diversity statement. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else speaking at the open forum? All right. Willmar royalty is next on our agenda. That's a fun item.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. Before I get started, I just want to say how appreciative I am of citizens of Willmar coming up here, organizing themselves together, and bringing some unique things forward to our community and to represent our community a little bit better. And what a better segue right into Willmar Fest, talking about the community that we're so proud of, that we work so hard to celebrate. I think you might have gotten the spiel last year from Mr. James Miller, but my name is Christopher Riddell, and I am the current president of Willmar Fest. We also have Bree Gimsey back here, the vice president, who probably works about 3 times harder than anyone else on the board, I would say. But we're so lucky to have her and all of the members on our Willmar Fest board. One thing I want to just mention to all of you is that this is the 78th year that we're celebrating Willmar. And I think that's a really special thing to keep in mind as we keep moving forward. The first event that we ever had was in 1945, right after the war, or right as the World War II was ending. And it's just such an exciting idea that we're continuing this legacy of the celebration of our community as it's changed throughout all the years. One of the biggest things that I want to bring forward today is a little bit of the events, both public, that we're going to be having. And we're going to start tomorrow at Coffee with the Candidates at Goodness Coffee on First Street. Later in the afternoon, we're going to have Kiwanis Day, Kids Day at Rice Park, and I think a couple of you were there last year, but we had hundreds of kids running around in Rice Park. It was an absolute beautiful event. It was the first time Kiwanis participated with us, and it was a super success, so we're really excited about continuing that this year. Thursday, we have the block party, which again, we're really excited about. We have some really cool events, including working with Intuition and Spurs here with a downtown beer garden. So we're really excited to bring that forward. We're going to have the Dam Jammers from New London, a great local band to be supporting us through the night. And of course, we're going to have a Ninja Anywhere and Kids Fun Run with Miles for Mentors in downtown Willmar. So all that's going to start at about 5 p.m. And probably wrap up around 9:30, 10. We'll also, of course, have food vendors and a lot more activities down there. Friday is our Stingers Night. Come celebrate Willmar Fest at the Stingers game. That's going to be at 6:35 p.m. And we will be seeing the new, not the ambassadors of right now, but the candidates do a lot of fun activities, including, were you guys in some sort of like ball fight last time or something like that? Yeah. It can get pretty wild when we see that out there. So Saturday we have is really our big event. That's our big day. We're going to have the parade in the morning, along with the Footlick 4, and of course we have a brand new thing, Rescue Squad Car Show at Robbins Island from 12 to 4 p.m. The Willmar Fest Ambassador Coordination at WEAC, or the Willmar Education and Arts Center at 3 p.m. And then we have the beach party, the awesome beach party that we had last year. We're going to continue that forward at Robbins Island with the Little Crow ski team. The Radio Nation will be playing for us. We'll have another beer garden. And then Lakeland Media's Works Over Water, which we can't say enough of how much we are so supportive or appreciate their support at Willmar Fest. And this year, we added one more thing on Sunday, and that is the Firefighters Association water ball fight. We tried to move that from Thursday to Sunday to get a little bit more participation from different firefighters around the area. So we will have some food out there. That's going to start at 12 p.m. at Robbins Island again. And of course, that Sunday is also going to be our makeup day for Saturday if we get bad weather. Fingers crossed. Right now, the weather doesn't look fantastic for this week, but maybe all the rain will happen at night, and then it will be nice and sunny during the day. But if there is rain, I just want to let everyone know, please check our Facebook page. We're going to try to reach out to the radio to let everyone know what the plans are if we have to cancel or move any dates. So I think that's enough for me for right now. So I am going to bring up our current ambassadors and have them chat a little bit about their year and experience with Willmarfest.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marissa Peterson, and I'm the 2024 Willmarfest Aqua Princess.
Hi, I'm Esmeralda Garcia, and I'm the 2024 Willmarfest International Princess.
And my name is Malaya Yage. I am the 2024 Willmarfest Queen of Festivals.
We made a little slideshow.
So first, we're going to talk about a little bit of what we do as ambassadors for the Willmar community. So some of the things that we do include attending parades, obviously for Willmar Fest, but that also includes in different communities across Minnesota. And then we also have the opportunity to go to the South Dakota Snow Queen Festival, which is a lot of fun. And then we also get to attend coronations where the new royalty is crowned, which is a great experience to see these empowering young women step up to these roles. And then we also have the opportunity to meet some amazing new people. Meeting royalty across the state has been such an amazing experience. And then we also really get to take a deep dive into the communities around us and get to learn more about their community while sharing about Willmar with them.
No.
Oh, sorry. I forgot my role. So we also do a lot of public speaking. We have improved a lot in our public speaking from the beginning to our current time now. We've gone on the radio. We were on the radio last week with Chris. And so if you look on the right side, that's us, like the first time. We were speaking at the beach party last year, and honestly, it was pretty scary. But now we do a lot better job. And we
Like this. this is up there.
Yeah.
And then in the last row of pictures, these are photos of different community members from Willmar who have supported us throughout the year. We've had chaperones, all of them are volunteers, and it's just been so amazing to see how they come together and basically just lift us up. Like, I didn't really know what this role was. I didn't know what it entailed, but it was just so cool to see people from Willmar come and just tell us, like, this is what you do, and then here's how you do it, and go ahead. And they kind of just empowered us to be right here. So.
Okay, and then, so what events have we attended throughout our reign?
Okay, so one of the events that we attended was the Anoka Festival, which they are the Halloween capital of the world. So that is why we are dressed up as Mario Kart. We get to go in costumes, take a break from the dresses for a little bit. But this was a really fun event. They hosted a ball with the candidates and other visiting royalty, and they have a really great candidate program. So it was great to see how they have such a lengthy program that really works on building up young women and empowering them with leadership skills and public speaking and all those kinds of things. And then they also have a big parade, and it's very amazing to see the Anoka community come out and support their community and also get to share with all the other festivals there and tell them about Willmar, how much we love Willmar, and get to share kind of our side of things.
Another event that we got to go to was the South Dakota Snow Queen Festival. So this is our out-of-state event, and this was in January, and it was about 4 days long. And it was super fun because Malaya goes to school in Florida, and she traveled back to, it was
Negative
super
40
cold.
degrees.
Yes.
So fun.
It was super cold, and we were in dresses and just trying to stay warm, but they had a bunch of fun events planned for us, and there was some communities there that we got to spend the whole entire weekend with and become good friends with. Something memorable was the skating. I was kind of scared, to be honest, but it was super fun. They also had Frostopoly, which is this big community event where we go around the city of Aberdeen to kind of get to know the city and everything that there is there. And it's very intense, and they have a bunch of cars and designated drivers, and some people ate minnows, and there was just a lot. It was super fun. And then we had to debate each other about who should win, and Marissa's team won. So it was fun.
And then, so the Minneapolis Aquatennial is kind of just a much bigger version of Willmar Fest, where there are about 50 communities that compete, one representing each community, going to compete for the title of the Aquatennial Princess or Queen. And so we got to go very shortly after we were crowned to support our previous royalty. And it was really cool. We got to watch her speak, and then we also got to participate in the Torchlight Parade, which was like a not late night, but at night where all of the floats were lit up. And there were about 50 just royalty, so that's not including the bands and all that. It was a very big parade. The streets were full of people, and it was really cool to go to such a big city and represent our little hometown of Willmar. So that was a really fun one.
Yes, and another event we wanted to touch on was the Hopkins Raspberry Festival. They had an event called the Royal Goose Chase, and that was just a great way to get familiar with the Hopkins community. It was sort of another like scavenger hunt type event, except we're on foot, so we're running around trying to get as many points as we could. But it was just a really fun way to kind of see the royalty compete and then really get familiar with Hopkins and learn history, and then just get to hang out with the Hopkins community. And then they also had a ball as well, and then they had this fun event. They had musical chairs for Miss Congeniality. So the royalty who are crowned as Miss Congeniality are usually seen as like being poised and very like kind and gentle, so seeing them kind of take it out on each other for musical chairs was quite the experience.
Marissa was Miss
I was going to say,
Congeniality.
she's not saying that part.
Yeah, I was playing musical chairs. I was maybe not as rough as the others, but it was a great experience.
Yeah, so Hopkins was one of our our big first festival that we did after being crowned. So it was super exciting to be able to meet a bunch of different people there, and they just had so many fun events. So it was a fun first for us.
Mm-hmm. And so what relationships have we built with the communities? These are just kind of a little rundown of all of we kind of touched on them a bit, but just there's girls from different towns that go to each festival each weekend. So we see each other every time. This past weekend we were in Montevideo and we got to hang out with Aquatennial and South Dakota Snow Queen. And at the end of the weekend, we're like, I can't wait to see you at Willmar Fest. Like, why do we have to leave so soon? So it's really these connections that we make that last a long time. When I was in Florida for school over Easter, I was at a church and I turned the corner and I see one of the Litchfield royalty who was just visiting for the holiday. And so it was just like so cool to see how those two things connected. But yeah, these are kind of just some friends we've made. And then we're going to talk a little bit on how Willmar Fest has impacted each of us.
Yes, so for me, a big way that being a Willmar Fest ambassador has impacted me is the growth that I've seen in myself. Being able to go to parades and coronations and meet a bunch of new people is a lot of fun, but I've really seen a great growth in myself within the past year that definitely would not have been possible without the experiences that I've had as an ambassador and the board and everyone who has supported me along the way. I definitely was one who didn't like speaking in front of people. So being here right now and being comfortable speaking in front of you all today is a big accomplishment for me. And just being able to even start up a conversation with a stranger, that wasn't always the easiest thing for me. And now being able to do it very easily. And it's just incredible to see how much a person can grow with a support system that Willmar Fest provides for us. And I will take all the leadership skills and everything that I've gained in the past year and take it with me. And I'm really excited to see how I continue to grow because of the position that I'm in now as an ambassador.
Okay, so I completely agree with Marissa. There's so much growth that happens throughout the year, and it went by so fast, but there's just so much growth that happened. Also, another thing for me is Willmar Fest has made me appreciate where I come from. I was born and raised in Willmar, and I was always that person that was like, I'm getting out of Willmar as soon as I graduate high school, and I never want to come back. But I go to school in Moorhead, and I love Moorhead, and I love where I am, but every single time I was just so excited to come home and do a Willmar Fest event, and last summer just made me appreciate it so much more. Mm-hmm. And like this summer, me and my friends leased a house in Moorhead, and I could go spend the summer there. But I was like, I want to be home. I want to stay in Willmar, and I want to be in the community that I know and that I love.
So we didn't talk about what we were going to say, so she literally just said what I was going to say. But it was the same for me. I've grown up here, and I always said, like, the minute I graduate, I'm going out of state for college, which led me to Florida. But when I took on this position, not knowing what to expect, none of us knew until we went to our first festival what we were really getting ourselves into. But it was really cool to see how in every parade, in every town we were in, there was someone in the crowd that said, "It's Willmar, hey Willmar." And so we have the previous ambassadors, the board members, the chaperones have built such a great reputation for Willmar. And so it's such an honor to be on that float and to be like, yeah, we're from Willmar. Like, we're representing the coolest town, in my opinion. Even at Aquatennial, I was at the orientation for this coming year, and they gave Willmar a shout out for one of the best festivals, which, coming from the cities, I think that's pretty high praise. But it's just really made me appreciate how hardworking, how diverse, how just all these characteristics that Willmar has as a whole, and just to say, like, Willmar's on my sash. That's what I'm representing. So it's been really, really great. And also with the skills that it's taught us, just how to connect with people. I didn't know that small talk was an art that you had to develop, but it's actually so important. So it's just like this long list of things that it's really just changed the three of us, and it's helped us just reach out into other communities and invite them to Willmar as well.
Yeah, we could seriously talk about.
I was gonna say we have more slides, but I think we love Willmar.
Yeah.
I think that's the end of our presentation.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you.
Thank all three of you. I appreciate the hard work that you guys have put into this last year. I know it's not easy, and it takes a lot of your time to represent our community. So thank you for doing it so well and having that hard work that reflects the community in each and every one of you. So quick question. The public speaking that you've been developing over the year, great job tonight, by the way.
Thank you.
What's more intimidating, speaking in front of the city council or being on the radio?
For me, it was the city council. The radio, I was like,
They can't see me.
They can't see me, yeah. But
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Just like, because here you're like face to face with a group of people, and we've also had a little bit of experience on the radio now, so it got more comfortable. But
I think that I was nervous until we got here and realized we were just talking about something we love,
Yeah.
and then I realized, oh, this is not that bad. But yeah.
Good. Well, thank you guys again so much, and you can come back next time and speak again, and it'll get easier every time.
Yeah, so true. Thank you for having us.
thank you so much, and thank you for your support.
Just before we wrap up, I just want to say, similar to what Mayor Pro Tem Osk had mentioned, is all the work that goes into this. The city of Willmar, Willmar Fest has to be we are so grateful of all the things that the city is doing. The police department, the fire staff, city staff, public works, and of course, city council with the support every year of Willmar Fest financially and coming out to all of our events and saying hi and being part of this team. I just want to say for these three young ladies, they were absolutely awesome this year. And we should all be just so proud to have this kind of group of people in our community that are excited about Willmar. And that, what I love so much is that you can see how much of a team those three are together. And that embodies Willmar Fest as well. We do so much, and it is a team event together. I can't say enough about Bree and Carly. They put in incredible amount of hours to make sure that these girls, these young ladies, can go to all of these events as volunteers. 30 events. We're driving for free, bringing out, it warms my heart how much passion we have in this community. So again, thank you all for your support. If you have any questions, I'm going to get out of here and I'll let Bree take care of them or something like that. But otherwise, thank you again very much, and we'll see you out there. Thank you.
Christopher, Bree, thank you both so much for your hard work. I know that there's a lot more people too, and thanks to everyone that allows the community of Willmar just to come out and celebrate and have fun. You guys work really hard, so we get to have a good time, and we plan on doing so. Any questions from
Any questions?
council members?
Thank you.
Yes, sincere thank you.
All right, the only thing more fun than Willmar Fest is preliminary engineering reports. Mr. Vogie, you're up next.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The first item here, item 10A, is relative to the 2025 and 2026 preliminary engineering reports. This is the first step in our typical process where we evaluate projects, identify potential costs, and give a range of assessments. It's required for our 429 bonding process associated with the financing of the projects that we've historically used. We've broken them down into two sections, if you will, the 2025 and 2026, and you might ask why we've done that. In trying to keep with the approximate level of funding associated with street improvements, we have received some comments from our partners, including Willmar Municipal Utilities, that they'd like to be aware of the projects a year in advance so that they can do any improvements that they might need to in advance of a mill and overlay or a reclaim project. So that's where we're trying to get to so that we're more prepared and we can provide the information to council earlier on in the process so that at the end of the fall it doesn't seem so rushed. There's a number of projects in your packet this evening. I won't read through them all because they are listed in the agenda, but ultimately there is a resolution in your packets this evening, and that would be the initiation of the preliminary engineering report for those projects, which would be the first step in that process, the 429 process. Of course, the report will come back, numerous discussions will be had, plans. This is like the very initial step. So with that, I'm going to pause and see if you have any questions for me.
Council, do we have questions, or would someone like to offer a motion to order the preparation of the 2025 improvement project preliminary engineering report?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Roll call.
Councilmember Nelson,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Schultes,
Aye.
Fagerly,
Aye.
Osmus,
Aye.
Butterfield,
Aye.
O'Brien,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Osk.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
Motion passes.
Thanks, Council.
Next, we're looking for, I believe there's a second motion, is that correct? Looking for a motion ordering the preparation of preliminary engineering reports for the 2026 improvement projects.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Councilmember Davis,
Aye.
Schultes,
Aye.
Fagerly,
Aye.
Osmus,
Aye.
Butterfield,
Aye.
O'Brien,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Osk,
Aye.
and Nelson.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
The motion passes. Next on our agenda tonight, our Public Works Director, go ahead.
Well, thank you, sir. Good evening, council. So to build on or piggyback what Jared just explained to you, this agenda item is, would ask to adopt a resolution awarding that 2025 and 2026 feasibility report and preliminary survey to Bolton and Mink in the amount of $459,100. All the same projects that Jared was just referring to. This proposed scope of services would include a feasibility report, cost estimate, preliminary assessment costs, and conducting the necessary improvement hearing as required by Minnesota statutes.
So moved.
I will pause for any
Second.
questions.
Motion and a second. Questions, comments, conversation? Roll call.
Councilmember Schultes,
Aye.
Fagerly,
Aye.
Osmus,
Aye.
Butterfield,
Aye.
O'Brien,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Osk,
Aye.
Nelson,
Aye.
and Davis.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you.
Motion passes. Thank you. Next, Mr. Corbett is going to present to us a comprehensive plan for the city of Willmar.
Right. Good evening, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, council members. Bear with me just a second. I'll pull up the slide for today. If you all think you had a blast with the Willmar Fest, you just hang on. The comp plan is going to get really fun too. That was my bad attempt at a joke.
We laughed.
All right, I don't know.
Gave it up.
So for today, I'm going to be looking for a motion to approve our selection of SRF Consulting for professional services to assist the city of Willmar comprehensive plan up to the amount of $25,000 to cover total costs and any incidentals. I will say that we received 3 bids from SRF Men Collaborative as well as Feathery Hood. They came out at different price points, and what really stood apart for SRF is they've done work for our parks already and green space and open space and other comprehensive plans for regionally throughout the area. And so we decided to move forward with them. So what is a comprehensive plan? The city of Willmar's commitment to completing its comprehensive plan shows the importance of proactive urban planning. As the city embarks on this significant endeavor, it will consider the changes since the 2009 comprehensive plan, integrating new data, trends, and community input. By analyzing past trends and anticipating future needs, the city can make informed decisions and balance economic development with environmental stewardship and community well-being. The revision of the comprehensive plan is not a regulatory requirement. However, it is an opportunity for community engagement, where residents and stakeholders can contribute to shaping the city's future. This collaborative effort ensures that the plan reflects the collective vision and goals of Willmar, fostering a sustainable and thriving environment for current and future generations. The comprehensive plan serves as a visionary blueprint for the city's growth and development. It is a strategic document that outlines the city's aspirations and the means to achieve them through careful planning and policymaking. The plan is structured to guide daily land use decisions, ensuring they are aligned with the broader goals and objectives set forth. These goals and objectives are not just abstract ideas, but are actionable directives that influence the city's development at every level. The inclusion of a future land use map is noteworthy, as it provides a visual representation of desired land use patterns. A land use map is a crucial tool for city planners, developers, and citizens, offering a clear vision of where and how the city intends to grow. The plan's outlook will be a forward-thinking approach, yet it is designed to be a livable document, adaptable to changes and new insights, ensuring that it remains relevant and effective. Completing the comprehensive plan is a commitment to sustainable, organized, and thoughtful urban development, reflecting Willmar's values and priorities. It is a promise of a well-considered future, laying the groundwork for a thriving city that balances growth with the quality of life. The plan's implementation is an ongoing process, subject to review and revisions, which allows us to respond to emerging challenges and opportunities while staying true to its long-term vision. In essence, the City of Willmar Comprehensive Plan will make a dynamic and evolving framework that shapes the city's trajectory, ensuring that growth is not left to chance, but is a result of deliberate and informed decision-making. So what does a comprehensive plan do? It identifies the future for the city. It serves as a guide for city policy decisions. It directs land development and growth. It influences public utility needs, and it influences quality of life and community character. Two things that the comprehensive plan will do is definitely have a vision for the city. So that is a statement describing the desired future outcome for the community. And there will be many goals throughout each topic. So those are broad statements of community desires. So there's 3 components. I'm really going to focus on this comprehensive plan for the land use. So one, you have land use, thus in yellow, if you're looking at a map, a zoning map, it is yellow for residential, red for general business. You're going to see blue for industrial. These are industry standards for coding or coloring different land uses. And those land use goes to zoning, so the zoning ordinance. That's how everything looks on a map, how they interact and how blocks are made up. And from our land uses and our zoning, we then influence development. And that's what you see is being built. What Planning Commission kind of takes a look at as well as City Council. So let's take another look at land use zoning and development. So land use planning gives general guidance about the long-term vision of an area. The zoning ordinance is the tool that we use to implement the plan that yields good development. Now, this is just an illustration. It is not being proposed at all. So who all is involved? It's the Willmar community. I will like for this plan to be done with Willmar. We are here to soundproof and check the draft that we already have. Starting in 2019, I believe, the department started it and haven't completed it. It hasn't completed. City staff, of course, it'll be my department, planning and development, as well as working with other departments throughout the city. Focus group, we're looking at a smaller group. Historically, we have stakeholder groups that are pretty large. Because we already have a rough draft, it's easier to do a focus group and really hone in some of the topics that we'll be taking a look at. Local and agency partners, City Council and Planning Commission. And for today, I'm requesting that we work with SRF Consulting Group. And their proposal is in the packet. So when can we get done? Our schedule is broken out into phases. So the first phase is listening and learning, and that's the public launch and community engagement. Our goal is to learn about residents' lived experiences and uncover planning needs. Our strategies are public surveys and our focus group meetings that will meet monthly. Phase 2 is more of exploring those solutions, so shaping the plan. Our goal is to confirm planning needs and test solutions. Strategies, again, are planning or public engagement. And you're going to see a lot of public engagement. I probably said it, I don't know how many times already. But public engagement, we're going to be also working with City Council to make sure that we're getting out and speaking to your constituents too. And so your partnership will be valuable in that as well, or throughout this plan. Phase 3 is review and refine. So we want to take a focus on, our goal is to focus on planning topics with the public and gather feedback based on the draft that we have. And we hope to have a draft this fall. Our strategies are community roundtables. So I can imagine that these community roundtables will be different topics throughout the comp plan that is discussed in groups or small groups. And then the fourth one is adopt and plan ahead. Our goal is to complete a final document, again, by the top of next year. With the holidays in November and December, we might be looking at as early as January to be completed and to have it adopted. So it is an adopted document. And our strategies are Planning Commission and City Council. And so we'll be doing touch points throughout Planning Commission and then coming here as well and meeting with City Council. I'll stop there and stand for any questions that you have about the comprehensive plan.
Council, what are your wishes? Councilmember Butterfield.
What is the big difference between SRF's price and the lower one, what they would be doing for the city? You know, that's $9,000 difference. Where is the city going to benefit seeing that $9,000?
So you're going to benefit by focusing on the two things. We're going to benefit by focusing on the land use map, which is imperative to the future growth. You know, we have an urban growth boundary around the city, and that needs to be taken into consideration as well. We have a land use map from 2009, and that map is already outdated, and we need to take a look at future needs of our community.
So all these three bids that came in weren't all the same, covering the same aspects of what they're going to be doing for this?
Correct. So there's, I'll finish there too. So another thing is that the document needs to be digestible, and it needs to be where a third or fifth grader could process it and understand what a comprehensive plan is. And we feel that SRF has the experience to do it, and to make sure that community engagement is a huge part on it and really assist us with that. My goal is not for the comprehensive plan to read like a research document. We want this document to be livable. We want it to be used. We don't want it to be data heavy. We want it to be able where policymakers like yourself can make informed decisions.
Go ahead, continue.
But still, you're not getting into what's SRF going to do more than Fagerly Hood on this proposal?
So we can go through the scope. And so SRF, which Fagerly Hood did not provide us in their proposal, these quotes, they're going to take a look at coordination and the kickoff meeting, so meeting internally with all of the directors and departments across, and consolidating a lot of the plans and making sure that our appendix speak to the work that has already been done and future work. Graphic design support, the land use plan, which is on its own, is really huge. I would also state that typically comprehensive plans can range to 6 figures. And the good thing about where we are is we already have a rough draft. Some things need to be reworked, and we're looking to create new chapters as well throughout. And so the other task here, number 4, they're going to do a full chapter review. So take a look at our work as well that we have and consolidate some of those chapters and develop new chapters as well. And of course, public engagement assistant, which is huge. Our department is a mighty 7, and you have 1 urban planner by study and practice. That's me. You have Chris Frank, an attorney and a great asset to the team. And that's all that we have for the comp plan. So we need more capacity to make sure that this is a great document.
Go ahead.
I'm just not understanding, you know, how come we can't really see what the difference between Fagerly Hood and SRF is? You know, why wasn't all the proposals in our packet so we could look through and see, okay, this is what SRF is doing, Hood's not doing this part. You know, we need to justify $9,000 difference, you know.
Well, Mr.
So I'm not getting the answers that I'm looking for because
Councilman Butterfield, if you're requesting to take a look at the other proposals, I'll be happy to provide those to council.
they should have been here so we could have made an informed decision with all the information.
Are you requesting the proposal?
I'm asking you, what's the difference? Tell me what the difference between the $9,000 is between SRF and a low bid.
I stated it.
Administrator Valiant.
I'd like to interject here also. Christopher and I also met with Flaherty and Hood with the person that was going to do, and kind of interviewed him on the tasks that we were looking for in that. And it wasn't, I would say, his insight as to what was needed in that was not what we were looking for. SRF has the skills. We've seen their work. Flaherty and Hood, the person that's new to the staff of Flaherty and Hood, he didn't provide us with what the skill level and the comfort level of what we were looking for. So it had a lot to do with the staff person and how they were going to work with us. And that has a lot on this bearing. Like Christopher said, there's community engagement. SRF has the expertise on community engagement. This is what they do. SRF is working right now on community engagement with Highway 12, with the MnDOT, and the revision and and so they know the community too. So that's really why, it's like, yeah, maybe 9,000 less, but it's also reflective in the work that it was going to be too. So that's why we chose to work with SRF and recommend working with SRF. As you can see, the other plant, the other Mead theirs was in the same, over $20,000 too. So that's a telling right there that the Flaherty and Hood reporting and the work was not going to be to the same level.
And just to add to that, their proposal, now that you're talking, their proposal wasn't tailored to Willmar specific and the items that we were looking at.
That's what I was asking about.
Okay.
Were the bids apple to apples or apples to oranges or oranges to pineapples?
Yeah.
That information should have been all here so we could have read through it before night to get to it, because now we got to vote and now we're missing some crucial information again.
Council, I'm still looking for a motion on this.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Other conversation? Go ahead, Councilmember Nelson.
I would just comment that I worked on the park plan with SRF, and they did a great job. They were very good at researching our community and understanding and working to do that. So I'm supportive of your decision to use SRF.
Thank you.
Councilmember Schultes.
Yeah, and Councilman Butterfield, thank you for asking that. That's important to know, for the public to know. And so I appreciate the clarification as to why the $9,800 more. So I think it sounds like it's definitely worth it. So,
Councilmember O'Brien.
My only comment is, what Mr. Butterfield was saying, is we should have the information. I mean, I understand that you guys know SRF. I don't know them from a hill of beans. I don't know who they are or anything else about them. So I would like to know a little bit more about them next time.
Okay.
All right?
Yes, absolutely.
Any other conversation? Roll call.
Councilmember Schultes,
aye.
Fagerly. Aye. Osmus,
Aye.
Butterfield,
Aye.
O'Brien,
All right.
Mayor Pro Tem Osk,
Aye.
Nelson,
Aye.
and Davis.
Aye.
8 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Valiant, July 1st.
Yes, we would like to ask the council that we cancel the July 1st meeting. It seems that we have there's not many things that are coming up on the July 1st meeting right now. And, but we ask that you also pass a resolution authorizing our finance director to approve any billings and things like that, because June has 5 Mondays in the month, I believe, and so our next meeting would not be for another whole month then from tonight's to July 15th. So we just ask that July 1st is really kind of a busy week in the first place, so if that would work for the council.
Council, what are your wishes? Councilmember Nelson.
I'm okay with that, because I know the last week there are several people going to the League of Minnesota Cities annual meeting or summer annual meeting in Rochester. But I'm confused with your request to just pass a resolution for bills, or what?
Well, because it would be another whole month before you would be able to approve any bills. And so that's 4 weeks. And this, so
But it-
typically every 2 weeks, we would have bill approvals. So, and I believe that our finance director is fully capable of understanding what bills would need to be paid. There are essential bills coming up that are going to need to be paid. For example, utility billing is one of them. That's going to need to be paid by July 1st.
Other conversation or a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Is there more conversation to cancel the July 1st meeting?
Is that simply to cancel the meeting or to,
Make the, yes.
Yeah, I think it's got to be 2 motions.
I believe it
Yes.
has to be 2 motions. So this is just to cancel the July 1st meeting. Councilmember Fagerly.
I've never heard of the city council canceling a meeting. We've always adjusted a day behind or forward, but never canceling. We only meet twice a month anyway. So that's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Other conversation? Councilmember Butterfield.
So Rick, in your long tenure, you've never had a meeting canceled here?
No.
Okay. Have you ever heard of one canceled before you were here?
No.
Okay.
I'll ask the question about if financials have to be approved in order to cancel this meeting. Is that not reason enough to have the meeting?
I mean, it's not unheard of that the resolution would be passed, and then all the reporting would still come in front of the council on the July 15th meeting. You would not miss any of that information.
And there any other items on that agenda that you would foresee happening if we did have a July 1st meeting?
Not that I'm aware of right now.
Okay. Other conversation? All right, the motion is to cancel the July 1st city council meeting. Roll call.
Councilmember Fagerly,
No.
Osmus,
Aye.
Butterfield,
No.
O'Brien,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Osk,
Aye.
Nelson,
aye.
Davis,
Aye.
and Schultes.
Aye.
6 ayes, 2 noes.
The motion is approved. Now we're looking for a motion to authorize payment of bills through July 1st.
So moved.
Second? Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any conversation? Councilmember Butterfield.
Is there going to be a dollar limit set to what we can do, or is it just going to be open check?
Well, I have approval up to $25,000.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
You know,
asking. Is
so
it going to be,
I would say up to, we can make it up to $25,000.
okay.
Councilmember Osmus.
Are you foreseeing any other bills that are necessary that would be above that?
No, because any of our pay apps and that should come before the council,
Director Okins.
unless Mr. Owens has something.
Yeah, thank you for the question. And the only other outside would be as construction pay applications come in. Construction had started earlier on in this year, so we might be seeing some come into the office. That'd be the only other. But from 1 month from now would be the 15th would be the next meeting. Those could wait till then if that's the council's wishes.
So I'm understanding your comments correctly that you would be comfortable with the $25,000 limit?
What my understanding would be per invoice or, yeah.
Yes.
Yep. And that would be, and then Leslie and I would, or Administrator Valiant and I would go through the list prior to releasing any funds. Because the current practice would be to, after council approves it, then release funds to the vendors. But this would be with her and I going through those lists together.
Looking for a motion.
You got the motion?
You have the motion.
Do we have the motion?
Yep. Julie and
The
Carl.
motion. But the motion, does the motion specify the $25,000 limit
It
that we've
didn't.
been discussing? I did not think so.
It did not.
Yeah. Are we content with the
can.
current motion, or would someone like to amend the motion?
Well, that's already kind of there because that's the limit that the city administrator has. I think, but if you want it stated, I could include it, up to $25,000.
I will second that.
All right, thank you. Any other conversation? Councilmember Nelson.
I feel some discomfort with this, I think, a few of us, and so maybe at the meeting, the next meeting, we should review what happened with the bills that we paid in detail, just versus us just getting them kind of thing, to see if we decide to do this again, or what would be a better protocol if we had something like that. So I would request that.
I would echo those comments as well. Are we ready to vote? Roll call.
Councilmember Osmus,
Aye.
Butterfield,
Aye.
O'Brien,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Temp Osk,
Aye.
Councilmember Nelson,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Schultes,
Aye.
and Fagerly.
No.
7 ayes, 1 no.
That motion passes. Tonight we have 2 of our directors offering up reports to the council. Who's up first
3.
tonight? 3.
3.
3. All right. Who's up first?
Good evening, everyone. I'm playing a little catch up for being out on medical leave for a while with my knee replacement, so I want to commend our staff of holding down the fort while I was gone. All of our programs basically started June 10th, so last week, so we were busy with baseball and softball games. Adult softball leagues are up and going. Like last Thursday night was a perfect evening. We had the pool party for the city staff, so that was busy. Roosevelt soccer fields were busy. I headed over to the softball complex. The Stingers were playing. They had Miles Fermenters going on. Legion baseball game was going on. The Church League softball was going on. I went to go grab the trailer from the pool, drove out to the Civic Center. I saw people at the Robbins Island. Sperry Park was busy. The complex out at the Civic Center was busy with baseball and softball games. Hockey people were going into the arena, and there were soccer matches going on the turf. So it's just a perfect evening with that. So it just shows that people are busy being active in Willmar, which is great. And that's why we got the facilities that we have. Other things with our programming that it just started off, one thing is I'd like to notice or let you guys know is our gymnastics program. We have a new head coach. She's been there for a couple years, and she's just exploded with our youth programming. It's been great. We've been working with the school to keep the gymnastics equipment up, because in the past we've always had to tear it down when it was at Kennedy, and then now when it was at the high school and their auxiliary gym, we'd always had to tear it down so they could use it for tennis. Well, now with us having the tennis courts over on the event center side, the varsity teams are able to come and use that in the afternoon. So then in turn, we are able to get the gymnastics equipment up and use it year round. And Tori's done a fabulous job with her gymnastics program. It's always a waitlist type of program. Another program that we have, it's called Little Athletes. It's a new program. It's more of a sports sampler, so kids are able to come out, learn different type of sports that can happen, from basketball to soccer, any of the hand-eye coordinations, sports and everything like that at Miller Park. We revamped our Little Hitters program, which was kind of like our first and second grade program. We eliminated the Kinderball program just because it seemed to be too much of a parallel move from the T-ball program. So we eliminated that, so it made more kids go up to that 6U program where we're able to get them into a baseball format. And it exploded. Going to a 6 and an 8U program, we have 97 kids out. So we'll have 10 teams in our first and second grade program. We looked at our T-ball program too, and we offered more nighttime activities with it. So we have 83 kids playing T-ball. So it's a lot of kids out there playing the baseball, softball type of programs. And then another program that we're proud of is our Tiny Athletes. These are for the little kids. I mean, 2, 3, 4-year-olds learning how to be social with other kids, being interactive. It's tough at times with them all, but it gets them to be with other kids so they know how to do some playtime and also try to learn a few things while they're there. So, and then we have our traditional camps that we have going on. One that I would like to point out is our little Cardinal Golf program. It's our second year of it, and we have 90 kids learning how to play golf. And it's been great because our head coaches have really stepped up and said, you know what, we want to develop our youth programs because it's a feeder program into their program. So it's been good that way. If you read in the director's report, we had a little bit of a hiccup with the DOAC when we first started it up this season. You fill the pool up and then you get it pressurized. Well, when you pressurize it, we found a few leaks in the sand filter. So it took a couple days for the vendor to come out to fix the sand filter. For some odd reason, when we start pouring in the chemicals, there was an imbalance with the water, and it put a gritty clay film all over the pool. Justin and I went out and looked at it. We've never seen it in the years that we've been there. So it was a real unique situation. So we had to drain the pool and we had to start all over. And so we got it all clean, got it ready to go. And I think opening night was Wednesday of last week. So we're able to get it turned around right away. We talked to the utilities. They did some testing with the water. They flushed the hydrant out and everything. So something didn't jive with the acid and the chlorine and the water that was in there, but we're up and running now. So facility-wise, we've been busy the last couple of months, just with the graduations, both the high school and the college graduation. This past weekend, we had the circus in town. So they were there on Saturday with 2 shows, and then we had a quick turnover that we had the Somali prayer service Sunday morning. So we had to get that building clean. If you've ever been after a circus, it's a chore because there are a lot of sticky bleachers out there. Also, we hosted the baseball classic. Those guys do a tremendous job with their tournament. So we had great reviews about the facility. But again, kudos to those guys for bringing that into town. Later on, we'll have a car show at the Civic Center. Another interesting stat, we had 75 rentals, shelter rentals for just the month of May. It's crazy how busy the shelters are out at Robbins Island and at Rice Park. And again, we have summer ice out at the Blue Line, so that also started off in June. Things at the community center, this is just a crazy program. Goat yoga, has anyone participated in it? So if you haven't, it's something you do stretching and everything, and goats run around you, and you pet them and everything, and people just love it. We had 41 people in it, so it's a unique program, interesting, but people love it. Another program that's a little bit is unique is the puzzle contest. We saw this online that people were starting to do it, and it's a big program now at the community center. You get a group of people and you have a contest who can put the same puzzle together. You would never think that it would be that, but it is. So it's a neat one. Britta's also doing some bus tours. So she took a group down to the Twins game, and she's going to offer another one here in August. And unfortunately, she's going to offer a Vikings trip, a Vikings football one. It's against the Texans and not the Bears, so I won't be attending that one. So I'm a big Bears fan. So. And she's also working on some grants for some new woodworking tools. Other items that we've been working on too is the shelter and the bathroom project for the trailhead. Meeting with the bike group tomorrow about getting some designs. We've been working with 2 vendors so we can start looking at how that project is going to come about. It probably will not be completed this year. It'll be at the beginning of the spring of next year that will be completed. The process of that just took a lot longer than expected with the environmental studies and everything. And when we were looking at the parking lot plan about where the best setup was for it, we couldn't sign the contract with the DNR, but it's all signed and we're getting ready to go. So hopefully we have some designs for you guys at the end of July or first part of August for that trailhead project. We've been conducting meetings with Bolton and Mink for the outdoor covered rink, so we should have some preliminary drawings, schematic-wise, here in the next couple of weeks. At the park board level, we talked about the DOAC site and potential improvements in that area. I think the consensus from the board from what we had from the last meeting and a planning meeting that we had in April is that they would really like to look at the master park plan and looking at trying to update that. With all the new amenities that we have, they feel like that's something that we should probably look at doing is updating the master park plan. So information will come to you guys later about that. Working with the Willmar Rotary on applying for the amphitheater grant. So that will be this is due at the end of July. So we've been working on that. Hopefully we get that submitted so we can get a review on it and then it can come back and we can see if there's any changes that we need to make from that. And for as far as capital project, the Sperry pickleball courts will be resurfaced July 19th. They should be down for about a week, weather permitting. The Valley Side playground equipment has been ordered, and that will happen in September. If you go by the DOAC, you'll see that the pool shed is installed and the new umbrella covers have been installed as well. So it gives it a new look. It's a nice look out there with the new colors and everything. So. And then you just approve the top dresser. That will be great for our ball fields. It'll start leveling it off and just, it's a thing that we need to do in order to make sure that our fields are up to good playing surfaces. So that's what's been going on.
Councilmember Osmus.
Okay, just for the benefit of the rest of the council, I was at the Park and Rec Board meeting on DOAC. They had to power wash the whole pool after they had to drain it. You were able to get all that grit and stuff off of the open air slide, but the closed one is still.
The enclosed slide developed that, the residue, I would almost call it like a scale, and it's hard for us to get into it because it is an enclosed slide. We had a vendor coming out. We still haven't seen the quote to get that cleaned or buffed off. They have a more high pressure washer or a rotating one that they feel like they can get it off. But we also have to be careful about that coming back into the pool. So I haven't heard much about it yet. So hopefully we hear.
So is the slide usable right now or no?
It is not. The open one is, the enclosed one's not.
Yeah.
Our staff was able to get in there because of, it was open.
Mm-hmm.
It's just tough to get the enclosed one now because of the heat too.
Right.
So.
And do we need to talk about the filters yet?
No, not yet. The guys checked them over. That was the first thing that we asked about, if it was, if something was getting discharged back in the pool from the sand filters. But the vendor says, hey, get your head in there and look at them, and everything was up to snuff from what our guys were telling us.
And a couple questions for you. First of all, I just have to say that I brought my 7-year-old to play softball last week, and she was very excited, and I was excited. She was on the turf field, which seemed like great for 7-year-olds. She would want you to know that it was not soft like a pillow when she fell down. So if you could work on that. Explain, like you've talked about the registrations. Is that up from last year? I mean, when you throw numbers at me, I don't remember what they were last year.
Our registrations numbers are up in several of the programs that we have.
Okay.
Some of the programs, if you see in the report, you see 7 or 9. Some of those don't start till later, and it's kind of with our adaptive programs. They kind of get the word out, and then they just come.
Mm-hmm. So. Okay. And then you talked about registration being high for renting community buildings. What's the turnaround process for that? I'm assuming after if someone comes in, they throw their party, they leave. Like that's got to get cleaned up and locked. And unlocked and ready for the next one? What does that look like?
It's ready for the next business day. So if we have a party Friday night, it's ready Saturday morning for the next group. So we turn it over the next day.
And who does that work?
Full-time and part-time staff.
Your staff, Parks and Rec staff?
Yep. With the shelters, we do have that as a professional service out to Mr. Clean. And so it eliminates the overtime that we have to do with the public works. It's actually a win-win because now a local business can get some revenue that way, but we don't have to have the overtime. So it actually costs us less to do it through Mr. Clean.
Okay, so Parks, I'm sorry, it was Mr. Clean was taking over the cleaning, which was being done
By Public Works
by
for the
Public
shelters.
Works. Okay.
Yep. But like with the circus, our staff came in at the Civic Center, cleaned all the bleachers, got it ready for the Somali prayer.
Okay. Thanks. Any other questions? Go ahead, O'Brien.
You mentioned this 2- and 3-year-old program?
Yep.
Who takes care of those kids? Are they the parents that come with that, or who does that?
Our staff does that. Some parents will hop in, especially if they know they got a rambunctious
2- and 3-year-olds.
Yeah, and that type of stuff, especially if it's, their attention span lasts for maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then they want to go to mom and dad and get a water, and then all of a sudden, where did Tommy go? Well, he's over on the playground right now, so we asked them, hey, mom, dad, bring him back over here, and that type of stuff, so.
So mom and dads are there, or?
Yep, they're watching.
They're watching.
They're part, spectators and everything, but.
Sure. Yeah, great program, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your presentation.
Yeah, good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and members of the council. This is my time to be able to, first of all, say thanks for allowing me to be the first community growth director for the city. It's been a great ride, and I think the potential for continue to learn about this position by myself, first of all, and then by you all, and also for the community continues to be an exciting time. We are seeing the results of this new position, and the city is positioning itself strategically to create many ways in which we can become more inclusive and also bring some equity and diversity to our community. This work is anchored in enhancing access, promoting equity and inclusion, and broadening the participation of all Willmar residents from all backgrounds, all ages, different ways that may be making us different, but on the other hand, is bringing us together so that we can learn that we are much alike. We have experienced many events that have brought thousands of our neighbors together to celebrate the diversity of our community, and we are actively providing opportunities for all to become aware, to learn from one another, so that our city continues to be a welcoming and inclusive community for all, and providing a space for belonging. I chose to work with 3 pillars that is leading the work I do. Community engagement, which you heard quite a bit today, civic engagement, and leadership engagement. I will be more than happy to provide more details about that strategic plan. But I think you have seen throughout the events and the emails and the communication opportunities you have received from me about what those 3 mean. So I'm going to emphasize some of the events that are coming ahead. As you heard today, we have a Juneteenth event that is choosing to be part of the kids event for the Willmar Fest this coming Wednesday. We are setting up a table, a simple table with a lot of gifts for all the children and families that will come. But in that table, we will have postcard that will have a QR code for the families, especially for the parents, so that if they want to have a resource for their children or for having a family meal time together during the week, to go to that QRF code and use the resource about what is Juneteenth. Now, why are we doing this? Juneteenth is a new holiday, as you all know, and many people still don't know what is this about. It is a celebration of freedom. It is the celebration of the end of slavery. Therefore, it's an opportunity for us to continue to grow in our human rights observance and how important it is for all to use this event to talk about these issues. We also have next Tuesday, we have our Human Rights Commission scheduled meeting in which we will be talking about our conversation we had for a World Cafe a month ago now. As you heard tonight, one of the members in our community, Pastor Andres, was part of that conversation. He walked out with an idea, with a dream, with a motivation, with a calling, we can call it, to bring Pride event to Willmar. I wonder how many people walk out of that room that day with the same idea to do something to bring human rights to our community. So you are invited again to continue to engage with the Human Rights Commission, not only for controversial issues, but just so that we continue to bring our community together when we talk about human rights. I've been invited to be part of a panel called Building Community and Fostering Belonging for one of the breakout sessions at the League of Minnesota Cities. So I will be sharing about what's going on in Willmar that brings unity, and what's building community, and what's fostering belonging. It's not a hard question to answer. I've seen so many good things happening, so I'm glad I can share the highlights of my work since I started working here. And then, as you heard also tonight, Friday, June 28th, at Intuition Brewery, we will have not our first, but most important one. We are restarting the conversation of celebrating Pride here in Willmar. So I thank the leaders of this community and the leaders of this committee that is bringing us with this opportunity. On the following day, on Saturday the 29th, the Somali community will come together downtown Willmar to celebrate their Somali Independence Day. Again, another event in which it didn't come from us, but rather a group of people came and say, we want to offer the opportunity for everyone in the city to experience Somali Independence Day in our community. So you are invited to join the Somali community in downtown Willmar on June 29 between the hours of 3 to 8. Looking ahead furthermore, Willmar Welcoming Week will be September 14th, which is a great time for us to continue to celebrate and to foster welcoming and belonging to the new immigrants. You keep listening to the different demographics of our community, and you will continue to listen how people are starting to declare their own languages that they have spoken at home or are speaking at home. You are starting to hear the different countries that people are representing within each individual cultural community, such as the Latino community, which about 15 countries of Latin America are represented here in Willmar. More than 12 countries represented from Africa, and numbers continue to grow. Languages spoken in our community, according to the school district, more than 27 languages spoken every day still in our homes here in Willmar. And if we go outside of the Willmar district, that number increases to 41 that I know of. So Willmar continues to grow with much diversity. It is my privilege to be able to be the Community Growth Director. Finally, let me finish this part by using Wikipedia to describe the word city. A city is a place where many people live closer, together. A city has many buildings and streets, houses, hotels, apartments, a lot of stores and shops, many buildings, places where people work, large, small. Everything happens in the city, and you, council members, have done a good way to set up a great city. But have you heard and noticed that I have not mentioned that people live in? So we can have a great infrastructure of our city, but we also need to focus on the people. And I think that is one of the reasons why the community growth position was created, to make sure that the people feel welcome and feel a sense of belonging. Thank you for the opportunity to allow me to do that and to lead you all in this work. It's not my work, it's all of us. The community growth is about helping all of us to live together, to share one common goal, to make our city a city for all, not focusing on our differences, but rather in what is bringing us together. Any questions?
Any questions? Well, thank you for your work and for your leadership in our community and for helping so much with that, bringing folks together as we continue to grow and celebrate the diversity within Willmar. You're back.
All right, I'm back. I don't have any jokes this time, so. Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, council members, I'm just going to highlight just a few things that the Department of Planning and Development has been up to and let you know about our upcoming land sales. Both Clean Chickens and Dooley's Petroleum is looking to close very soon, so either the end of this month or right after the holiday in July. In the month or for the month of May, our department, our building official and inspectors have been really busy issuing 100 permits just for the month of May. That's a total valuation of $29 million and permit fees of $316,000. And every month, I always include in my director's report that we're in need of volunteers for our boards and commissions. So I'd like to take a second and just run through some of those that we staff. So it is the Board of Zoning Appeals. Currently, there are 6 vacancies on there. So if you know a friend or a friend know of a friend or a few, please have them stop by City Hall to fill out an application and or online. Our applications are digital there. The Downtown Willmar Board, we're currently doing an audit of that board membership to make sure that we have that one staffed, but there might be opportunities for it too. And I'll touch actually a little bit more on the Downtown Willmar Board. Formerly known as Willmar Main Street was the program. Riley Kennedy is our coordinator. They focus on downtown, the 20 blocks in downtown for economic development, any programming. It is part or affiliated with Main Streets America and Rethos here in the state of Minnesota. And Planning Commission, so there is a vacancy for Planning Commission. Candidates should meet one or more of the following criteria. a knowledge of or interest in zoning ordinance requirements or implementation, a desire to work with property and business owners to meet their needs, while also ensuring safety and conformity for the public, a general desire for civic service, and an interest in why a city is zoned or formed. And so those are our criterias. Again, happy to sit with anyone and speak to anyone who's interested in a board. Members of the public who are interested in joining or serving on one of our boards or commissions can always email planning@willmarmn.gov. The other thing that I'll mention is the comp plan. So thanks to you today, I just jotted this note down. Within the coming days, we'll be redoing the webpage for the comprehensive plan, releasing some preliminary content that we have. I'll definitely provide a link to the 2009 adopted comprehensive plan. And if anyone is interested in participating in a focus group or in any of our roundtables, or just wanting to stay up to date about the comprehensive plan, I ask them to email planning@willmarmn.gov. Sorry. The last thing that I'll mention is I actually have a PowerPoint. I love a good PowerPoint, so we'll pull that up. All right. So I just touched on Willmar Main Street. It was, again, affiliate of Main Street Americas, which is a national organization that works with small towns to revitalize downtown areas or commercial districts. And back in April or May, we established a brand for downtown Willmar, and with doing so, we also renamed from Willmar Main Street to Downtown Willmar, or DTW. So this is the logo, and this logo comes in an array of colors. This is the vertical lockup. This went to a public vote. It was voted for by residents here, and we're well on our way. I think it looks great, and Riley Kennedy is really taking ownership of rolling things out, and really happy to see some of our partnering organizations and businesses from downtown, such as Intuition Brewing and Spurs, who have been inspired by this brand and created a downtown lager that you can get at Intuition. And Spurs is doing a burger to go with that lager. So it's perfect for summer. So thanks to you two as well.
Don't worry about your diets.
The other thing that you've probably seen made possible through a grant, the Small Cities Grant from DEED, is 24 concrete planters that are placed throughout the downtown area, specifically on Becker Avenue and Litchfield. And this is a tremendous effort to do some beautification downtown. Again, these planters were purchased from a grant and that we had, and so we finally got those out. Happy to have them out. Partner with Stacy Nursery to fill them as well. They look great, and I think it's a great addition to the downtown.
Just a question
Yes.
on those businesses. My understanding is businesses requested if they wanted one in front of their store, and then they're responsible for watering it and maintaining it?
So kind of, sort of. So we have multiple planters that we got through this grant, which was part of the Streetscapes project. These are not the ones that they volunteered for. These were the ones that myself and Riley Kennedy kind of mapped out with the help of Public Works, and definitely have to shout them out as well for placing these throughout Becker and Litchfield. The ones that business owners are signing up for, those will roll out next year. So it'll be a multiple year phased out approach to beautifications, improvements.
So do we have somebody watering these?
That's a great question. I think that is a question that we all had in the beginning. Happy to say that we do have a seasonal hire for the city that will take on the responsibility and water these. So yes.
not
But
a
right now,
problem,
we don't
so-
have to worry about it for this week, as you heard, the rain. But
I've been known to go around with gallons of buckets of water
Okay.
to water these things.
Yeah. Well, every year downtown too, the I believe Stacy Nursery provide us with black planters and do flowers in those. Those are, if you notice, they used to be on the corner of downtown. We've moved those and placed them at municipal buildings, so city and county, and even the library. So great addition to downtown. And coming up next, another improvement that we're doing we're taking a look at banners to go on the light pole. And this too is made possible from a grant. So we're looking at a Rethos grant. We're looking to order about 85 banners to put throughout downtown as well as Old Town. These are just some of the mock-ups, so nothing's permanent right now, but any feedback that you all have, please share that with me too. Riley Kennedy is working with the Baker Design, I believe, graphic design. So you'll notice that we have the standard Willmar, Minnesota, welcome to the heart of the city, which is downtown. You'll see that there's different languages to say that as well. We have historic pictures of, or vintage pictures of buildings and architecture downtown. Because this is a print, there is a line of demarcation that will not be shown on the actual banner. The banners are going to be larger than the seasonal banners. These are going to be 24, 25 by 45. And so it'll be larger in width and a great asset to downtown as well. We can also do these in a conjunction, so we don't have to just pick one. We're staying true to the overall city branding colors and incorporating that. So if you are curious about the downtown Willmar and events and things that are happening down there or want to be involved, you can follow Downtown Willmar on all social media platforms or email planning at willmarmn.gov.
All right,
That's my update.
Go ahead, Councilmember O'Brien.
In front of Menards, I see some construction starting. What is that?
I'm sorry, say that again.
In front of Menards.
Menards. Oh. Yes, that is Les Schwab's that is coming.
That is Les Schwab's?
Yes.
Okay. What is the date for that, do you know?
Well, they just got their permit, so we're working on, let me find out and come back to you, but probably this summer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll come back with an answer for you.
Councilmember Osman.
Inquiring minds want to know about chicken restaurants.
Well, we have Clean Chickens closing on property. Other chicken places, maybe they're thinking of Popeyes.
Yeah.
We did issue a permit for Popeyes and happy to say that Popeyes is coming to First Street. Yes.
And that
I
was-
knew what you were getting at.
I
but-
know. Is that the old Dairy Queen one? And then what
Yes.
happens to Slim Chickens?
Well, Slim Chicken's lot is for sale, so I do not believe they are looking to come back to the market.
Okay.
Yes.
Osmus chicken, maybe?
Yes, that's a good one.
Negative.
Councilmember Fagerly.
Yes.
So they took the fence down at the mall there,
Mhm.
and they cut the grass, the weeds, so. now
Very
there's-
appreciated.
Yeah.
Yes. It should show very well this summer.
All right. Well,
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
your report. Community pride.
I have one.
Go ahead.
I just would like to say that RAC TV will be again providing the parade live on TV and streaming live at 10:30 on Saturday. And it is the 29th year that RAC has provided that service. So hats off to Rudy and his people that he has working so hard with him.
Councilmember Osmus.
Not a community pride. I was going to try to slip this in before that got there. But since we are being serenaded by thunder and rain at tonight's meeting, are we concerned at all yet about the street projects and rain delays? That we should be, because we won't get together now for a month that.
Great question, council member. So to date, as of the last count, We've had approximately 8 rain days since construction began. Obviously, with today, that's 9. Tomorrow, who knows what's going to happen, but it has made it a challenge, and the residents have been responding well. They're pretty understanding, and we are trying to keep the project updates coming on the website. As you're well aware, you can sign up for updates. All the city's projects are listed on the city's homepage, and you can get text message, email updates every time they're posted. So weather has been a challenge. However, I'm not concerned about project completion yet at this point.
Thank you. Other community pride announcements? Go ahead, Councilmember Fagerly.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. So I just wanted to give an update on the Summer Classic. Rob mentioned it, but they had 64 teams in town. They used 13 fields. Teams came from Benson, or Bemidji, well, Benson too, but Fargo and South Dakota, and many teams from the cities. And it was a great tournament, and one team from Willmar won their division. That was a 13-year-old, so.
Yeah, they went undefeated. First time they did that in a tournament.
So it was a great time again. They always put on a good tournament.
Yeah, that's great.
And I heard a lot of compliments about our fields and our complex.
All right, looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We are adjourned.